For a story about a dude who wants to cop a feel, you'd expect this story to not really be that depressing, and then it off guards you multiple times and may or may not make you cry your eyes out, and enter a rabbit hole of depression. Seriously though, Denji has had a rough go at life. At a young age, his father seemingly committed suicide, leading into Denji being taken in at a young age by the Yakuza due to his father owing them money. But now Denji inherits those debts, and in order to clear it, he becomes a devil hunter. When he was young as well, he met Puchita, who was about to die when first finding Denji at his lowest point, but it turns out that Puchita was injured, which led into Denji forming a contract with them so he could survive. But what's funny about this is in their first encounter, Denji was just ready to die due to how much of a cruel life he was living. However, after forming a contract and having basically what Denji could call his first friend, he would use him to kill other devils, and for the past few years he would be doing anything he can to get money, even going as far as to eat a cigarette for a quick buck. And then we get into the conversation between Denji and Puchita about Denji's dream and what he wants. And unlike a lot of protagonists who basically just try to be the best they can be, Denji wants a normal life, simply. And it's really sad how a 16-year-old kid is praying that one day he can just live under normal conditions. We then see the Yakuza betray Denji, forcing his only friend to then form a contract, allowing Denji to become the Chainsaw Devil, or as the manga title implies, Chainsaw Man! After Puchita's death, Denji is pretty depressed, but we see as well that Makima right from the start has an interest in him. Denji, who in his entire life has never had a real person care about him, is now being recognized, which is why I feel like it's kind of annoying for the average Chainsaw Man fan to just think Denji is a creepy pervert. And it simply fails at being funny, which also isn't true, by the way. But Denji, for the first time in his life, is having real human experiences and getting what he wants. He gets whatever he wants to eat, has a place that'll keep him safe, and is now forming a relationship which he believes to be genuinely real. He is tasked to go and kill the Gun Devil, which he obviously is down for since he gets one wish from Makima on some Shenron shit. This is when he's introduced to Aki, who contrasts to Denji pretty well, being the one to tell Denji to have his morality out of the way on the job. Power is Denji's perfect example of a ride or die, and honestly I do want to make a video just dedicated to the relationship, plus I may or may not have a video coming up talking about Denji and Aki as well. We see early on in the series he doesn't really care about if he's killing a devil or a human, as he's technically both at this point. And Denji more so does not blindly see devils as bad, and the Chainsaw Devil, the seemingly most feared devil out of all of them, is hosted by a man who is holding back his humanity. And as Denji learns more about the job, we eventually get to Himeno, who is technically the first person to establish herself as Denji's friend. Sadly, the next day, after she gets turned to atoms, leading into Denji now having to confront a remnant of his past, that being the grandson of the Yakuza that raised Denji, aka Katana Man. After his first round, which did not go so well for Denji, we see Denji questioning if he's a bad person for not really feeling too guilty about Himeno's death. Now, this moment is a great way to set up for what's to come later by showing how Denji initially doesn't really have any attachments to anyone and is questioning if he's really normal. We do start to see a change in Denji, especially in round 2 of Denji vs Katana Man, where he not only got stronger thanks to Kishibe, but he also is able to learn from last time and completely outsmart his opponent. I also do like here when we see Denji trying to protect the innocent person in the subway, as Denji finds it not necessary to cause collateral damage and doesn't want people dying in general. Denji then proceeds to tie him up and allow Aki to get some type of revenge, which shows that Denji definitely has some type of care for Aki. And we see how his sympathy is actually showing now. Even as early as the Bat Devil arc, we had Denji combating another fighter, that being the Leech Devil, and purely talking about his dreams and fighting for his said dream. The reason I say this is that Denji himself builds friendships as the story progresses, and he himself grows as a human being. And to me, this fight shows how Denji, despite being a weirdo and not coming from anywhere really positive, is still fighting for his dreams and isn't giving up on what he believes in, or isn't going down without trying to get a taste of what he really wants in life. And that to me is beautiful. My buddy Broken Ronin actually broke this down pretty well in a video of his own, just specifically talking about this, so you guys can go and check that out. I'll link it in the description. But to me, the character of Denji just does not get respected enough, and it's crazy to me. The next thing Denji would discover seemingly is someone who wants a genuine relationship with him, that being Rize, who by the way is doing all of this just to get closer to the Chainsaw Devil and kill him off. So she she's legit manipulating this lonely loser who would be falling for all of this pretty easily, and even despite this, Denji is talking about running away together, and even after she almost tried to kill him. Denji isn't a simp for this, by the way, because Rize herself was clearly considering it due to her deep down caring about Denji, so it's not just a one-way side. It's not that Rize tried killing him, but Denji thinks she's bad, so he's willing to run away with her. There was more to the conversation at hand. By this point in the manga, Denji still has a fine line between his human and devil side, but all of this begins to change once we enter the Darkness Devil arc. To put it short, the Darkness Devil damn near killed every single one of Denji's friends right in front of him as he tried to fight back and couldn't do a single thing about it. We then see one of the Darkness Devil's followers gain a little bit of its power, which would actually be enough to damn near kill Denji on his own. While fighting this beast as well, we see it trying to kill innocent people and overwhelming Denji specifically. This is a great way to show not only that there's different stakes in this fight, but it gives us a preview on what Denji would soon become, that being a merciless murder machine doing nothing but clearing everything in its path. But we see Denji trying to be the light for the people, literally lighting himself on fire to weaken the devil being amplified by the dark, showing that Chainsaw Man is that spark of light at the end of the tunnel that'll keep going and keep shining. And this is where we get into Denji's arguably biggest struggle, and that's accepting Makima never caring about him to begin with. You see, Makima not only manipulates Denji's best friend, but he forces him to kill him, making him feel guilty before then relying on her for comfort. He realizes that his morality has been tainted permanently and wants to no longer think for himself, but rather be a dog. That way he doesn't get anybody hurt and doesn't have to think for himself. Makima in this same instance says, okay, kills his other best friend right in front of him, proceeds to manipulate and use Denji solely for his Chainsaw Man transformation, which is then revealed to be the reason why she even considered having interest in him in the first place. This is proven when Denji legit dies and Makima is saddened by the fact that Chainsaw Man is gone, which then allows Denji in base to catch her off guard, meaning the person that essentially gave Denji his dream didn't even want anything to do with him in the first place. But he manages to take out Makima with a tactic that Aki used to save Denji in an earlier arc, so that's a pretty cool callback, plus using power to deal the finishing blow. Denji kills the person who he thought he loved with the assistance of those who he truly loved all along. And now Denji is forced to take care of the next control devil while making Makima's plan a reality. However, he's not doing it in his own twisted sick way like Makima. He's going to be keeping his morale and proving her wrong while also accomplishing her goal at the same time. And before wrapping this video up, I would like to mention just this one panel when he was facing Makima. And he genuinely asks himself, why is everybody so interested in the chainsaw part of him and not the man in Chainsaw Man? And to me, this has to be one of my favorite panels in the entire manga, if not my favorite. Just because it represents just how broken Denji is inside and how much he really suffered as he was going through this journey. And him trying to find his goal, which is to simply have a normal life, is damn near impossible for him. And it's all because of the devil inside of him, which he had no other choice but to have, or else he was going to die along with his friend. And despite everything he's going through, he decides to look at the positive end of everything and is essentially the Spider-Man of the Chainsaw Man world now. And I hope you guys enjoy. Shut up! Fucking dogs in the background, bro. That shit pisses me off, bro. Seriously though, guys, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys want me to analyze anything that you like, let me know down in the comments. And take care, everybody.